Hi, Cliff.
Are we working now?
We're working now.
You've done this before, haven't you?
Well, I'm getting better at it, I think, fingers crossed.
Well, it was really nice. Somebody put all the dates for the future meetings down, which is pretty nice.
That was
Maybe-
probably Janine.
Yeah, maybe we'll start being a little more regular.
Yeah, it helps.
So were you at the budget meeting you were at the budget meeting with the police and all that stuff?
I was, yes. I tried to attend all of them because this was my first go around and I had to present my budget. So it kind of gave me a handle on how to do it. But yeah,
Well, it was pretty interesting.
yes.
It's amazing how they spend a half hour on the arts budget and then 3 minutes on the police budget.
Hmm.
I just love it's just nice to know so many people care about us. And Jackie's here. I thought you might be late, Jackie.
Yeah, the Board of Public Works was only an hour.
Oh
Oh,
my
What
gosh.
happened? They were finished at 5. I never know how long it'll be, but it was.
Well, these meetings you guys get into, phew.
It's been something. It's a lot more than when I used to.
Than we need.
yeah, there's a lot of meetings.
Well, I think there's so many subcommittees
Right.
now that
Right.
never they just didn't have all those before.
Yeah, it's easier to make a subcommittee than make a decision.
Is that what it is?
I think that's the motto under Lewis's motto. It should be. It's easier
we
to
didn't-
make a
We
subcommittee.
didn't have any snow days to cancel anything. But even if it's a blizzard, you can just have the meeting from home. So
Right.
they just pile up.
Yeah.
Well, we used to, I mean, I've seen places where meetings where you have you have 3 minutes to speak and you have to stop.
Right. Yeah.
And if the chairman wants to hear more, they can ask, but because I think it's just too much to ask a city councilman to sit through 10 hours of meetings a week or more, which is almost minimal these days.
Mhm.
And the mayor and city council meetings they can go 4 hours plus. I mean, there comes a point where my brain just shuts down
It does.
at a
Yeah.
certain hour of the evening. I'm like, I'm done.
That's a defense mechanism.
Is that what that is, Cliff?
Yeah, that's called yeah.
The planning commission the
That's
other
a
night
defense
was
mechanism.
4 hours.
Was
I
it?
think Barry,
Yeah.
I wonder, I don't think Barry's still back in Lewes yet.
No, I think he's still in Florida.
And you must be getting very excited about our new sculpture.
There's a lot of discussion.
Yeah, well,
So it's on track, right, for April.
yeah, it's totally on track. I mean,
Hey,
it's
Cliff.
very,
Got
hey,
it?
Tony.
Hi, Tony.
How's everybody?
Very well.
Good.
But yeah, I got contacted by the Overfalls people today.
Oh, they did? Because we had an inquiry at the city through the online system because
Right.
they're having an event in May and they wanted to not have the installation in May. So I said to Anne Marie, I said, well,
Well, she forwarded it to me. I got an email off the city council site and I wrote her back and she wrote me, oh, thank you very much. That won't be a problem.
Okay. So you already contacted her?
Already done, and I sent a note back to the mayor.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know how to do that yet. Go in, you went in and got that notification?
Well, I received an email because you can go to our website
Right.
and you click on the website, and if a submission, so it came from our website.
Oh, so you get the notifications from the website whenever there's
Well,
something posted?
Elaine Silverman went to the website and
Right.
she, of course, she tells everybody. She'll have 5 different people trying to get the same answer, which we only need is one.
Well, I told Anne Marie that I would respond, but I said, I'll do it tomorrow because I want to make sure that the schedule hasn't changed, which I didn't think it had,
Yeah,
but
okay.
so, well, good. You
I
took,
can copy you that.
Cliff,
I'll
you
copy-
took something off my plate to do tomorrow. Thank
I'll
you.
copy you the email. All right.
I'm monitoring the attendees in case somebody comes in that way.
All right. So you now have her email to me and my email back to her and her
Oh.
email thanking me back.
Okay, wonderful. And I will thank you here for taking that off my plate.
That little thing works pretty well. It's like, and then every time somebody inquires, their name goes on a list. So I'll hit a button and everybody that's inquired on the city website, our website, will get a notice. Hey, our sculpture's going up this week, or hey, we're changing. But not many people write to us on that.
Right.
What's going on over on the beach, Tony?
Busy, busy, busy.
Good.
Fortunately,
Well, that's good. I guess with all the new real estate changes, everybody's got to buy new artwork.
I wouldn't say everybody's buying new art, but a lot of people are, and a lot of people are changing the look of an existing piece of artwork by reframing it. So that's
Mm.
great.
That's good.
Did you, we're going to talk about, did you see Mark Harris's show, Tony?
The what show?
The Mark Harris's show in the
I haven't
basement
been
St.
down
Peter's?
in, I haven't been to the church hall or basement or whatever they call it to see it, I'm afraid, no. But I mean, I saw the images.
Yeah.
It's great. Amazing.
It was only up 2 days.
Oh, I thought it was still there.
It was on March 5th through 7th, I think it was.
Yeah. We ought to get them. I mean,
Oh.
it was really worth seeing in that place, but we're going to talk about it, so I don't want to talk about it now. So we got a new, so we have more people running for city council.
Yes, we did have another person file. Khalil, Sabila.
Right. Dr.
He was on, I think he was on one of the beach parking committee, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Hi,
Oh, and
Carol.
then there's the guy who owns the beach
Rick.
bed and breakfast, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw he had put his hat in the ring.
So that's 4.
Who's the fourth?
Khalil,
Oh,
I don't know how to
Sabiri?
pronounce
Is it Sabiri?
Sabiri, Sabila.
Is it Severi? It's Dr. Oh, Andrew was on the committee with him. He's looking so focused.
I
Let's
know.
talk about Andrew until
Making sure he's
actually
all-
can hear us.
Yeah, can't,
Who's the guy in the committee that, who just filed for city council? Khalil, who?
Dr. Dr. Saliba, it's his son.
Khalil Saliba.
Saliba, yeah.
Severi Saliba. Again. The crowded field.
And then there was a gentleman who filed for BPW election too. Richard
Oh.
Nichols is his name.
Yeah, yeah, that was on the, I saw that on the, in the Gazette. Yeah, they look like some competent people for the DPW.
For BPW at least, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't make any comments about competency in city government right now because, you know, you hold the purse strings.
Flip.
Plus, we're in a public meeting too, so.
That's right. Is that a Phillies hat you're wearing, Cliff?
It is.
Yeah, that's good. Old school.
I am old school.
That's like the era I was born, late 70s or 80s. Yeah.
I was cleaning the basement and I brought out this book from Lewes Chamber of Commerce, 1980. And your grandfather wrote for some reason, your grandfather wrote the welcoming letter on that. Does that seem right?
For some reason.
Was he president? I mean, he,
I don't know.
anyway, I have it for you.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Denise has electricity in her house and her computer's working.
Everything is good.
Everything is, yeah.
My clocks are slow apparently because I have 5:58.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
what
it's
clock is that?
5:59.
Oh dear.
We're just chatting. We're just talking about you until you get on.
Oh, okay. Was it
Now we can
juicy?
stop.
Now we have to talk about Heidi
Oh,
and Barry.
Yeah.
it's
Heidi is
certainly an
so
ugly
sweet.
day.
Yeah, you need them once in a while. This is the kind of weather when I'm glad we're on Zoom and don't have to get in the car and go to City
True.
Hall.
Always the optimist, Carol.
That's right. Hey, Tony, how'd you make out with your shot?
Well,
I'd
I've had 'em
hear-
bo- I've had them
We were
both. and-
both getting them last time and missed the meeting.
Right. I mean, I didn't have any after effects, if that's what you're asking.
I didn't either.
Me either. Andrew's too young.
Oh, exactly. My Carol's getting her first shot on Friday.
I had chances to jump the line, but I didn't do that for you.
You're holding the moral high ground, are you?
That's right.
If you go to Texas, you'll be
Yeah.
able to get one, you know.
Alaska. Here, Alabama.
Georgia.
I wonder if it's because nobody on there wants them.
I'm sure that has something to do with it, particularly in Texas, because we have a friend who lives in Texas, and the scuttlebutt that's going around there at the moment, as far as vaccinations is concerned, that if you get the vaccine, you will become sterile.
Oh, God.
Hey, that might be appealing to some. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm past caring about that anyway, so.
Karen,
Hey, Cliff. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
we are still waiting to start up here. We got two members that are a little bit late. But I thought you'd at least want to hear what's going on with, well, it looks kind of dreary out your window, Karen. It's sunny down
Drizzling,
here.
raining. What do you got? Sun there in Lewes, Delaware?
Oh, always.
No, it'd be raining all day.
70 degrees today.
Tomorrow we got 70. You sent it our way.
No, we have the same junk you have. Heidi just said she's on her way, and
There's
No,
Barry.
it's
There's
just-
Barry.
Very.
Mary's on.
Barry. Are you in Florida still?
Here I am.
Are you in Florida still, Barry?
I think I made it. I don't know what was wrong with the. Kept on saying the server couldn't find, they couldn't find the server.
Oh, it's all right. We're here.
Sorry.
We're still, Heidi's still coming.
She's here. I'm gonna bring her over. She's in the attendees.
I'm only 2 minutes late.
Are you in Florida?
Yeah, I was outside and I thought, well, maybe the internet's not as good out there, but
Oh,
by the pool.
still rubbing it in.
It's all right for some.
All right, there's Heidi. So everybody's here. I'd like to call our meeting to order. And 6:03, we're in pretty good shape. Welcome, everybody. We have a kind of we don't really have a long menu today, but we have a few things that need some volunteering and some scheduling. And I wanted to, first thing we got to do is approve the minutes of last time. And does anybody have any additions or corrections? Well, I looked at it and I had, in my notes here, I had FARPATH on the contributions for our getting our money together. I had $2,000 written down. She's got 2,500. So we collected 2,000 and we really need another $500. So I'd like to ask a committee of Barry, of Deneen, of Carol and Denise and Tony to come together and try and find us $500 because everybody else has already put up some money.
I've put up some money. It's in the old account. I never got it back from the city. So I'll talk to Anne Marie and have it moved over. I have the receipt so I can show that I paid. But I didn't contribute $500, so.
All right, how much did you contribute?
$100.
All right, so we need 400. Can you guys?
I'll put in $100.
All right,
Me too.
300, 200. Great.
Sounds like you're doing an auction.
I hear 150.
Hey, you're on mute, Heidi.
You're on mute.
I think Heidi just said she's in for 200.
Janet, do we just need to write a check to the city but annotate it?
Yeah, but
Pat?
first let me hear what Heidi had to say.
I'll put in 100.
So now we need 100 left, right?
Yep. All right, so
Sorry,
I'll get that.
before you go on, Cliff, Janet, do we just need to write a check to the city and annotate it back?
You write this check to the city of Lewes and annotate it. It's the City Arts Committee. And all the other money is in the city's hands.
Okay.
I don't know, Janet, what happened, but I got a phone call last Monday asking where's the money, and no one ever asked me for that before. Was there a conversation about that you knew about?
Not that I knew about, Cliff. I haven't heard anything. No. Who
All right.
called?
The mayor.
Oh, I haven't, no, I didn't
Do
hear
his
anything.
job, you know, it's not a bad thing. All right, so we're okay on the money. Thank you for picking that up. And the next order of business, I'm jumping from this week to last week, is our installation.
Did we approve the minutes?
Oh, no, can we, no, let's approve the minutes the way they're written.
I approve.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Good, that's done. All right, the WEISS project. There's been a small change or two. Because Rachel is pregnant, she now wants to stay here at the house and not at Ted's place. She's very nervous about she's not got our shots.
Hmm.
She's gonna get, maybe she might have one by the time she gets here, if she's not sure. So I told her she could go ahead and stay here. She's still bringing her assistant, who will take the hotel room that Ted provided. And so the deal is they arrive on Friday afternoon. We don't know exactly what time.
What date is that?
This is the 16th
Of,
April.
April.
This is in 3 weeks. And in that afternoon, she's gonna have the big rental truck and try to offload everything that afternoon or evening. And if they do, there'll be a big pile of plastic boxes in the park for the night. That way she can get the truck out of the way, and which would be cool. And then the next day, and so Rise Jim is going to help her unload that truck. And then Rise Jim is going to provide some muscle to move the rocks in place. Maybe that afternoon, but the next morning. Those two are coordinating that by themselves. I'd like to have a support there, a city person there the whole time she's installing. So I would feel like if she's going to be here,
When you say a city person, are you talking on
committee
payroll
member.
or just somebody on the committee or something?
A committee member.
Oh, okay.
So I will be there the Saturday morning because I'll go over with her and get her going. So I need someone to volunteer to be, I don't think you have to stay there, but I'd like all of a sudden she needs, oh my gosh, I need some baling wire. I'd like somebody from our committee to be able to go help her out. And because rather than her stop doing what she's doing.
Right.
And I think it's more like, go over there, introduce her, you say, you're my baby for this afternoon. Here's my cell phone number. You call me if you need anything. Does that sound like useful, Karen?
Useful meaning what? Like, does she need physical help or just I'm not sure what you're.
Physical help, she's got them. She's got people. I'm just worried about the artists coming in and not having any access to, it's not like in the city where you can walk around the corner. So I'm just going to have somebody sort of on call with her by shift so we can all take a shift.
I'm certainly willing to do that. Just
Yeah, I think that's.
do it.
Me too.
Sure.
All right. So who's going to be Saturday?
Yeah, it'll
afternoon?
just make her feel
17th.
welcome and like there's somebody behind her.
Right.
That's what we're going to, yeah. But it's for 3 days. So we're going to,
Well, I don't think you need someone to be there at every moment. I mean, as long as, it's the first day, I would say for sure, maybe someone to show up in the morning, the second day, and then have your cell phones on so that she can reach anybody if she needs to be. But I don't think you need to schedule round the clock unless you're nervous.
well, I am nervous about a few things. I am nervous because it's our first thing. And
I
I do
understand
feel
that.
like somebody could come in from the city, somebody, if it's something with the park and park policeman comes in and says, what are you doing here? We want to have somebody around. And you're right, by the second day or third day, it's going to be fine. So it wasn't to be there physically. It's just, if we
Be on
don't
call or
I don't wanna
available,
sign
is that
up
what
for
you're saying?
24/7 for 3 straight days. So
Yeah.
so I want to kind of shift the responsibility off, and I'm looking for a volunteer for Saturday afternoon.
I can do it. I mean, are we providing her lunch or what are we doing?
I don't know about, no, I don't think so. They probably won't eat lunch.
Okay,
Probably work through it.
I can work or be available Saturday afternoon.
All right.
I'll split it with you, Denise.
Okay,
All right. Well, you guys can be Saturday afternoon and
Sunday morning if you want.
Barry Sunday morning. All right.
Cliff, I planned on being available Friday afternoon just because they're coming into the park. I haven't talked to Rodney, but he might want to stop down too, just so that they're staying on the gravel with the truck and, you know,
Right.
protecting
Well, I'll be
me.
there. I mean,
So
if you want to, sure, you're welcome.
yeah, I'll be there.
And you know what? We probably ought to can you give a heads up to the police force
Sure.
that we're
Yeah,
doing
good
this? That there's gonna be a truck backing into the park.
We know how big this truck is.
It's gonna be, it's probably gonna be a large cab over, not a,
Like a box truck.
yeah, like a large, yeah, I think it's gonna be a box truck.
Are they bringing anything like plywood to lay on the grass in case they go on the grass, just to distribute the
No, they're
weight?
gonna,
So
they don't wanna go on the grass.
they're not gonna go on the grass.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean, the worst case scenario is they park, if it's really crummy and the box truck, I've seen that path, it's wide enough to drive on, so. And
If there's a need for somebody to be there after 3 on a Sunday, I can do that.
Oh, great.
But I'm in the gallery until 3.
And I can do midday Sunday too.
All right. Great. Well, that's everybody. Wonderful. Now,
If you have weather like you're having today, are you, I guess, is that going to affect the outlay? Like if the ground is soft or any conditions like that?
What kind of wet, are we having rain or something?
Oh, we're getting
Oh,
the
it's
buckets.
pouring.
Oh,
actually, we don't have a contingency for bad weather.
should we?
No. Because I mean, she's
We
rented
just
the
do
truck.
what we have to
She's
do.
got those days. I mean, this is not, it's not a local project, and she's
Okay.
hired people for that day. And I think if there were really, we will adapt, Andrew, it's not like, I mean, I could throw some plywood down if we have to, but really what they're gonna do is, the first thing they gotta do is figure out where they're gonna unload all these plastic boxes, and then the truck's gone. I mean, the truck could be gone and not on the ground at all. It's just they wanna get it close so you don't have to move that 50-pound rocks, 100 feet.
Yeah, understood. My concern is more with how, as she lays out the project itself, the ground there is,
I think the way it goes down is she will build the project, which is plywood. She assembles the
Okay.
plywood and then she brings one rock over at a time because each rock goes to a specific place. It's numbered and it's tethered in place. So,
sounds good.
but I mean, I'm sure we'll all be there because it's kind of interesting, but it's nice to have somebody in charge at the time to be helpful. You have a really good point about lunches. I'm going to ask her about that. Denise,
Shouldn't we just provide that?
we
I mean,
could,
I would think, isn't that something we could just,
I mean, yeah.
You don't need a fancy lunch, maybe just like a nice sandwich or, I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be a gourmet thing, just
no,
something.
I was thinking of like a sandwich and a drink or,
Yeah.
All right.
But it's probably more than just the artist. It's like the artist and her help, and then, who else is
It's
gonna.
the artist and her husband and her help, and then you have Brian, and they have you could have like 8 people.
well, then,
So we
let's
could
just
do like
see how it
Touch of
goes.
Italy or something.
I mean, we're paying them, they're not doing it for free.
yeah,
so.
but that could add up. I mean, that could be $100 easily. If you're talking Touch of
My
Italy.
bar bill, taking me to lunch could be $100.
Well, you don't have to order escargot for lunch.
No, but still, I mean, if you get subs or, I don't know,
Well, let's play it by ear and see what happens.
okay.
I don't want
Get
to
a
make it.
pizza.
All right,
You
so
could
let's-
get a pizza.
Yeah, or one day, like we just do one day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a gesture. I mean, when someone
Yeah,
brings
I mean,
lunch.
she
and
very well
craft-
may not want to stop.
What?
I would say the first
I mean,
day.
that's like,
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
pregnant. She's gonna want to eat.
Yeah.
She
we
is
don't
gonna
wanna
wanna
mess
eat.
with a
All
pregnant
right.
lady.
all right, I'll figure out what we're gonna do about some lunches. Maybe I can get some donated.
Yeah, great.
Um,
Because these restaurants really need a donation. No, we can pay for it. Sorry.
anyway, walk and talk assignments, meet the artists. Oh, okay, going back up. So Heidi, while
Yeah.
you are there, will you have time to do a live stream installation on your social installation live stream on social media at some point?
Everybody should do a live stream on their social when they're there.
I don't know how to, so
I know.
Well, then take a little video and send it to me.
Oh, okay.
all right.
You take a
So-
little video of something fun and then send it to me. I'll give you my cell phone.
You just upload it to Facebook or whatever it is, right?
You just take the video and text it to me.
Yeah, she's
But
the
you can upload it to Facebook or Instagram, but you can just send it to me and I'll put it up there.
Heidi's the Instagram queen.
I'm not the Instagram queen.
All
She
right.
just knows more than you about it.
I at least like put some things up there.
All right. I did post something on Facebook this week, the 3-week thing, and I think you did something on Instagram too.
And I'm gonna need to do a more.
All right. So create a video interview. So that we can just do that. So when you're there, while the installation's going on, we do interview people that are going to come up and say, what's the big pile of poop look for, and let them talk and see what we can get out of people. That's always good to put on. People love videos. And
Live
then,
reactions.
We should also contact something like WRDE and get them
They
down.
will be
Oh,
there.
yeah, Michael, what's his
you want
name?
to do that, Tony?
Yeah, Michael, what's his name?
I can contact Paige Marley, who's the woman that I get into the gallery to do something. And I mean, she's going to be in the gallery
Yeah, that'd be great.
She's great.
a week before that.
Well, she'll come back.
covering our next show. So I can talk to her and ask her whether she would like to cover this. The best
Well,
time,
She already did one segment on it, and I just forgot all about her. So she definitely wants to cover it. If you will contact her, that'd be great.
which would be the best day to do that in the installation process? The second day?
I'd say Sunday.
What do you think, Karen?
She'll be really
Karen,
busy.
what do you think?
She actually won't come Sunday. She only works Monday to Friday.
Well, then she'll miss it.
Well, she'll be there for the beginning. Well, or maybe she could come on Monday.
I think they'll want to cover it. I mean, I would think WBOC, WRD, they'll both want to cover
Well,
it.
it's their
Let's
call.
find Michael that
Tony?
lives in Lewes that does all the arts.
Michael Sprouse.
Michael Sprouse, yeah, what about him?
He will too. Mhm.
But Tony, if you just tell her that we're doing the installation, that she has to be notified, but it's going to be on a Saturday and Sunday
Sure.
when it's going to go in.
I'll do that and see what reaction I get.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
she gets, whatever she does, she does. We don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if she
Okay.
can't do Saturday or Sunday, I could meet her on Monday.
Okay,
I mean, it'd be better if she was there Saturday, Sunday, but I could meet her Monday.
sure, okay.
Anyway, thank you, Karen. Those were all good interests. Oh, Karen left. Okay. So of us all, who has had shots in this group? Everybody but Andrew? All right.
How about Heidi?
No.
Have you had yours, Heidi?
No.
Not old enough.
Okay.
It's a shot. We don't have any underground shots.
That's not how old you are. It's who you know. This is Delaware, man.
I just got mine.
Your guy in the neighborhood is the fellow that works at Walgreens. Everybody's getting those 8:30 phone calls. Hey, listen, we're gonna close in a half hour.
Goodness.
So, okay, so that's kind of it. As far as getting together and having she's pretty nervous about her health situation right now. I will let you know as we get closer, but,
Are you thinking of having just like a cocktail party or something like that, or just a meet and greet, or what?
I'm not gonna have her meet the artist event.
Well, we could do it on the roof.
And she's will not be coming back to pick up the piece.
Cliff, it's hard to hear you.
So, because that's the.
You're muting or something.
You're muted or
Carol, I
something.
can't hear you.
Cliff,
Carol?
you're not very loud.
Can you hear me, Carol?
Now
That's
it's
better.
Better.
All right. I was telling you that she will not be here to pick it up. So this will be your only chance to meet her. So hopefully you will all come by and meet her.
I got these, Cliff.
Oh, lovely. Look at those.
That's cool.
So you can do a little thing, and I got 2 of them. I'm gonna talk to some builder I know about making a little like stand or something for them.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Good.
They look good.
Karen's trying to get back in. Can you see her out there, Janet?
She's not in attendees. I do not see her, Cliff. Let me just go. She didn't come through attendees before.
She was on.
She showed up as you, actually.
I know because yeah, but she's probably trying to get in as
who? Herself?
all
No one
right.
in attendees yet.
No.
All right. Well, I'll just send it to her again. She's probably going to come in as me again.
There
Here
she
she
is.
is.
You got her?
Yep, she's in.
Hi, my
Yeah.
phone worked, my computer won't.
All right. All right, so the walk and talk, well, we will talk about this next month, and we'll talk about this when we get together, but we still have to establish a walk and talk date to have people talk about the artwork. Did we want to do that? And that we can establish. We don't know how it's going to go down. Should that be on a weekday or a weekend?
The last time we did this, we had a couple of different times.
We had like 1 a month.
We want to do one a month.
And we had one for like younger people and one for adults, and we had some kind of a schedule that we had proposed.
I think at this point, I want to be able to put in the press release that there'll be a talk about the piece of art from somebody in the committee, and it's going to be at such and such a time. Now, the question is, you think Saturdays or Sundays are better, or like 5 o'clock in the a weekday, or?
Be cool if we could mix it with like a happy hour and go to Harbor and sit outside afterwards or something.
I think that was an ultimate goal for the walk around last time. This is just going to be like, if you want to come and talk about this piece of art, show up and we'll talk about it.
Well,
It's
what
not a
time would
big
you like to
social
do
event,
that?
and I think that maybe 5 people show up.
What time would you like to do it, Cliff?
I'm
I
thinking Saturday afternoon might be
Whatever will get the most people there, but I don't know about arranging and going to, with COVID, going to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So Saturday afternoon, I
You
feel
think
like
that-
you're the best one to talk about this, Cliff.
Well, I'll talk about it the first time, but I thought somebody else could talk about it second time.
Oh, how many times are we doing
Well,
it?
we almost ought to have some kind of a script or
Right.
not a presentation, but you know, we want people to know this, this, and this, and this is about the artist, whatever. This is how long it took to build. And then, what's your reaction? You know, how do you feel about this?
Well,
You're
I
not-
was thinking like,
Or do things to encourage them to express themselves as to how they feel about the art.
it's
I
a-
mean, I think we need
that
to
would be the
techniques
best.
to prod that, or to
That's
make
what
it
we want to
happen.
do. We want to have interactive meetings sort of, but I thought we would do one every month.
Maybe it would be good to mix up the time that you do them and maybe do one, have an option that's on the weekend and one, because presumably the lighting and the time of day will have an effect on how you feel about the piece as well, I would assume. So maybe having like a Sunday morning and like a weekday that's an 5 o'clock-ish would be a good idea, you know? I don't know.
I think that's what we did last time when we had Tom Furin. I think we tried to mix it up.
That's a great, that's good.
We
You
just need
get,
to
that
come
way
up
you
with
can
some kind of a
you're gonna have a
schedule.
shot.
Can I
Oh.
ask a question?
Yes?
Do you guys have any signage?
Yeah, you missed that when you're
Oh,
already done.
all right. Don't worry. Don't waste your time. Tell me later.
No, it's right there.
No, she's got it right here.
Yeah,
Show
this is it.
Show it.
Oh, nice. Okay,
And that
Great.
goes to our website, which tells them more. We have two
that's
of them.
awesome. Great, thank you.
And then, all right, so Sunday morning and a weekday afternoon.
I would say Sunday morning, a weekday afternoon, and a Saturday afternoon, since we have 3 months,
Yeah,
right? It's April, May, and June.
and some people go to church on Sunday morning.
Well, and also I know June Sunday morning is yoga in the park, so we don't want to do that. Too many
And it's
people.
also going to be different when you're more in season, you know, July and August. As
Okay, well, we
opposed to
will take those.
May
I'll pick some
and
dates
June.
out and send them to you, okay?
Sounds good. I can help with that. Most likely on Sunday would be best for me.
I think what we'll try and do is maybe get everybody to come to this first Sunday morning one, and then and then you guys will take it from there on who's gonna do the next one.
Perfect.
Okay, so that way, and then we'll cover talking points and all that stuff. Does anybody have any problems talking about this now as we get into public feedback? Does
There have been
anybody
a
run
lot of-
into any pushback?
I mean, I know one person that just said it looks like a bunch of rocks with ropes around it. I said, that's what it is. But how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's going to have a healthy conversation. I mean, I think it's a
I think
ball piece of art.
I think people are going to either love it or they're going to
Yeah.
hate it.
Okay, well, I mean, I've heard from some people, city council people, that, you know, they've gotten feedback both ways, but they have gotten some strong negative feedback. And at this point, I just said, well, who knows what I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like till we see it. So it's silly to have that feedback at this moment and worry about it. But
Well, and you can't really
Hope
tell
so.
what it looks like from the pictures. I mean, they posted stuff in the Cape Gazette, but I mean, I told people, I said, don't go by that. And I sent a few
no, they weren't
people
good pictures.
pictures because I said that doesn't do it justice.
Well, and the other thing is we're not worried about good or bad. We're worried about conversation. So,
Correct.
I mean, it's really not like, that's what's so cool about it is this is going, I mean, it's a contemporary piece of art. It's really going to push people. So we're going to have to really guide them through the process of like, how do you feel? But also like, what is this and what is it? I feel like it's exciting.
And
Yeah,
if you hate it, it's temporary.
Exactly.
Exactly.
True.
Is there something, I mean, I don't know if any of you had met Rachel or had a Zoom call, but she's very, she speaks very well about her work, and she's really got a very nice, like, you really kind of fall in love with her when you hear her speak. And so it may be, even if it's like an interview that's printed up somewhere, I mean, the Q&A or interview, or even if it's just in a newspaper, if people have a chance beforehand to sort of see what she looks like or even hear her, it may sway your to have, I know the dialogue is good, whether good or bad, but it may be helpful.
Well, to
Maybe we
that
could-
end, could we do an interview like Cliff and her and then put it on our website, like the two of you talking back and forth?
I think that would be good. I was thinking about getting her in a Zoom call, but that's crazy. So if we just put on the
That's
website.
what you ought to get Michael Sprouse to do. That's the kind of stuff he does.
Yeah, that would be great if we could have
I mean,
him.
he would do that, I'm sure. I mean, he knows how to ask questions, and usually something like that, they print the questions up. Everybody knows what's going to be asked, and then you ask them in a sort of an organized way, and it looks like a free form interview, but it's really not.
But he also gets paid for what he does, so we'd have to probably pay him.
I bet you we could, well,
Well, it's
Saying
definitely
if
the
it's for
sort
the
of thing
news- if
that,
it's for the TV station. It's news.
Well, if that's the
Tony,
case.
Tony, want to speak?
it's definitely the sort of thing that Paige Marley can do, because when we have her in the gallery for WRDE, we always get her to interview one of the artists or the artist, depending on what the show is. So, you know, if we can organize her at the right time, you know, and if she doesn't work Saturday or Sunday, that might be more difficult, but she could definitely do that interview. And then usually, I mean, she makes what she records for WRDE available to us, so we can put it on our website or on Facebook or whatever.
Right. Well, we did put her interview on Facebook from the last TV show. I think we got the last TV show interview somehow. I don't know whether it's on Facebook or not. I have to go look. All right, let me talk to Rachel and see what she thinks about this interview idea.
And I could
Yeah.
see it being a Zoom call where you and her go back and have a conversation, so it could be a little longer than the WRDE thing.
Yeah, I think we might be able to do it if it'd be kind of fun if it was the end of the installation. And like, we could just be standing in front of it and having this conversation too. That might be fun if it worked.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then let me see if she wants to do it. Or we could also set up a studio here. She's staying here at the house.
Well, and as Karen said, it might be nice to have that before, so that people get to know her on the way, so they already like her before they see the artwork. So it changes how people think about things.
Does really, and she's really likable, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what, Karen?
she's really likable, and so Heidi's right. Like, it really will, you know. I'm sorry, I might have missed this too. Do you guys have a press release you can send me? Because I have a pretty sizable emailing list, and I will send it out.
The last press release we put out was more about an announcement of it, not the press release that it's going to be in. That press release will go out just when it is installed. And no, that's not going
Yeah.
to. But it will.
When it is, just give me a copy of it, and when you have an installation picture, and it's going to be up for how long, this piece?
Good question. What else? We're supposed to get it down in September.
Okay,
Oh, okay, so that's longer than I thought.
okay.
After Labor Day, right?
Yes.
That's what the plan is.
And we don't have a concrete date.
Because we
And
got
that's
the baby.
because the date she was going to pick it up is her due date. So she's now going to have to coordinate, and that's why she's bringing this other guy down with her, because he'll be the one responsible for putting it all back in the truck, and then it's going to go up to New York, and it's not going back to Pittsburgh anyway. So anyway, I'll send out an email to you guys because, but I think we're in pretty good shape. We got to set up an interview. We've got the extra money coming in. We have to find out about feeding sandwiches and as far as everybody showing up on the 17th, if it's early on the 16th and she's getting in the middle or afternoon, I'll call you or I'll send out an email so at least you know that she's in town. Yes, Denise.
I had a note that I was having people for dinner. That's off the table now.
That's
Because-
not going to happen.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think that that is not going to happen.
Okay, fine.
My connection is unstable. Don't say anything.
Left yourself open.
Is there a
Alright.
chance to talk behind your back then?
Okay, can we move on? Are we okay on this?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Next question is finance. Does anybody have any bills to submit for this year? I submitted a couple of bills a couple of weeks ago for the internet. I haven't heard anything back. But the end of our fiscal year is coming up.
This was, these were 84, but I'm happy to cover that from Heidi Low Gallery. and write it down.
Go ahead and submit. Go ahead and submit. Let the city start getting used to paying a little money out for us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We got the money. Use it.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I mean, it's an expense of the project. I mean,
Well-
donations are one thing, but
Well,
I
then
mean, we
I'll
need a-
cover lunch. Heidi Low Gallery will cover lunch if this is covered, so.
All right. Oh, okay.
100 bucks.
Becky, you can write all that down in the minutes. Okay, next thing is we basically had a very interesting meeting with the finance committee and the city. And the city has approved an increased budget for us for next year. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Again, it doesn't mean you have to spend it.
We have
But we've
never
been very good at that in the
We've never
past.
spent our budget. But one of the
didn't spend it all
problems
last
that we're going to run into is for next year is that we're not going to talk about this a lot tonight because we can talk about it after this has already been too long a call. Next year, we will probably redo the mural. And we have to decide what we want to do about our projects. And so I want to give a lot of thought. So the next meeting on our agenda is going to be discussion of the volume and the type of projects for next year, which we want to get on early for a change. We have to decide if we're going to continue with our curator, Karen. And if anybody has thoughts about that, we'll talk about it at the next meeting. And if you think you want to try a different curator, please present their credentials at the next meeting. Because Karen kind of continues to work for us on an ongoing basis. And I will be proposing that we hire her again next year. The budget, there is a lot of fudge in the budget over whether we can spend the money on the art or the assisting of getting the art. And I think that will clear up after we get a new city council. And we'll see how that shakes out. Right now, I mean, it's basically, we just
not
need that.
buying art. We're not spending any money to buy art.
No.
So I don't know what the issue would be.
But we don't own any art and we never spent any money to buy art, even though we've been collecting money. So that's a discussion for next week. And I would like all of you also to send me a note as we move forward personally about what you can do next year more than we've done this year to move our goals forward. I mean, it's really important that we set some goals and have some ideas of what our commitments are and how we can move forward. I don't want to just have, these discussions are great, but we really want to do something next year. I want to know, what's in the tank. So could you please send me an individual note on that as we start building a plan for next year?
Cliff, can I be clear? Are we talking about next fiscal year or next
next
calendar year?
Fiscal year starts, it starts April 1st.
Okay.
Okay, we had and so next meeting, we'll talk a lot about next year. And then the next thing is, I wanted to make sure, I don't know, did any of you guys see Mark Harris's show?
Yeah.
It was, to me, it was the most I was really happy he did it. Carol, what did you think?
Oh, yes, very moving. Beautiful.
It was so powerful as a piece of art. I mean, the context of it being in the crypt made you think about death. The paper of those pages, the rice paper with all the marks on them,
The ones.
when you touched it and you moved the page across, it felt like these souls were like leaving the paper and floating up into heaven. And it was like solemn, it was well lit. It was really a great example of a wonderful, wonderful public art event. And it's only there 2 days.
Where was it?
It was in the basement of St. Peter's Church in the crypt.
Oh, wow.
And he had one painting there was the silk screen thing was what do you think? It was 16 feet long and 6 feet tall or 4 feet tall anyway. And then there were 4 or 5 different objects. And there was a big article in your message. There's a link to the article in the Cape Gazette if you didn't see it. And it's in your minutes that you got.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
But I'll tell you, it would be great if there's another place we could show that. And if the city, I mean, I don't know where it would be that would be quite as cool.
Yeah, I think the setting was just perfect for the.
But I mean, it doesn't mean we can't, but I'm, if you guys can think of any place to help him out, I mean, I don't know what's involved with using with the net house, the upstairs of the net house. That's owned by the city, right?
It
Yeah.
is, yep. Yeah. It's
mean,
closed, it's closed right now. There are meetings held there occasionally, but that and the Rollins Center meeting room are closed for now. I'm not sure when they'll open back up. I mean, the city approved events after the 15th of April within the city parks and other locations. So they may open up after that, Cliff, but I have not heard.
Well, I mean, I know you use it for a lot of meetings, and to use something like that would require it be set up and set aside only for the art show for a long weekend, but.
Right.
And it wouldn't be, I'm trying to get him to get St. Peter's to do it again. And then somehow help us really publicize it. Because everybody found out about it afterwards. It was only up to,
Oh, wow.
I was going to go see it on Sunday. Paper came out Friday. I read Friday night. I was going to see, or Saturday morning, and I was going to go see it on Sunday. I said, holy, and it ended Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was only a couple of hours each day.
Yeah,
It was not like it was all day.
but it was really, really moving. And
Is Mark in the attendees list? Is that Mark Harris that's in the attendees?
no,
No,
There's,
there's, There is
I
a
don't know who
mark.
the Attendees
There's,
are.
yeah, there's no last name. I don't know who. You could type
Is
in
that
the
you,
chat
Mark?
and tell us who it is.
There is a mark.
Hey, Mark, can you text us?
Or he
Oh,
could type in the
that is-
chat.
Is this Mr. Harris, the area that he put his hand up? So anyway, Mark, we love you. Did you get a, can he write to us?
Or if you could elevate him.
I can elevate him.
Elevate him. I hope it's not somebody,
Well, all right.
he left.
Mark,
No,
you should
he's
be able to
here.
No,
take
there he
yourself
is.
off mute.
It's on mute.
He's what? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
He is.
yeah.
That
hey,
is-
there he is.
Hi, Mark.
You're
You
on.
gotta take your off mute.
All right. It's okay. I'm here. Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was wondering what in the world I was on the menu for. So the schedule. Just to let you know, sometime after Easter, I think probably towards the middle of May, we're going to do it again in the crypt, and this time for a longer period of time,
Good,
and we'll give some notice about it.
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah,
Great. Well, keep us in the loop and
I sure will.
we'll be glad to publicize it for you. for
Well,
what
thank you.
can-
Thank
what
you
we
very
can.
much for the encouragement. It's really, really nice.
All right.
Okay, I'm
It was
signing
really-
off.
it was a
Take
treat.
care.
All right.
Mark.
Bye-bye.
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 Oh, that'll be a treat. It's a real treat. So, okay. Discussing the way forward, any news on any of the other extraneous projects we were talking about, bike racks, art pieces, benches,
Denise,
rifles?
I wanted to give an update about the bench project. I have talked to Jim Abbott from the Historical Society, and I've met with the head of the Ship Carpenter Square Homeowners Association and 3 board members. And my purpose in doing so, and also I was part of the last African American Heritage Commission meeting. I wanted everyone to hear my idea from me, because I think things have a way sometimes of growing, and I wanted everyone to have the same information. I think the Homeowners Association at Ship Carpenter Square is acutely conscious of the fact that they're living in a historic area. And there was some concern. I believe they thought that I wanted to put this in the middle of the big open area. And I explained to them that no, I'd like it as far towards the street as I possibly could get it. Where the sign is presently. There is a corner at Burton Avenue and 4th Street where there is a little blue marker and there's a swale. I don't know if that land is owned by the city or not, or if it's the property that's there, if it belongs to them, but I think that's probably the only other place it could be. So we cleared up a little bit of confusion about what I wanted to put where. And so I think everybody's on the same page, and I wanted you to know that those meetings have happened, and it was going to be presented to the Homeowners Association by the president. I don't know if that's happened yet or not, but anyway, it's out there.
What's your path forward?
Pardon me?
What is your path forward?
I think I would describe, well, I think I'm planting seeds. I think the African American Heritage Commission is thinking about a walking tour. I've heard that the Historical Society is too. I think something like this absolutely ought to be on both of them. And so I wanted to propose the idea for it. I would certainly be willing to help fundraise, do anything I could to move it forward. But I think until there is a concrete plan from one of those organizations to create a walking tour, it's probably just going to be in limbo.
Okay. But on hold.
And do you have an artist to do the work or?
No, because I think it's too premature for that. I showed them pictures of the thing in Asheville that I'm borrowing the idea from, and students at the University of North Carolina at Asheville did that, sculpture students. So, you know, my thought would be, you mentioned the artist that's here in Lewes. There may be students at the University of Delaware too who would be interested in something like this. I just think it's premature to think about an artist now when
You're in the conceptual.
But the
it
first
doesn't
question-
have legs yet.
But Denise, the first question they're going to end up having to deal with, which is a hard question, is how much will it cost? So you really
Well-
have to get an idea of what kind of artists and what kind of event and what kind of price range you'd be involved in to make this.
I could run it by the woman in Lewes, if Heidi gave me her name, and I could, you know, contact the chair of the art department at the University of Delaware and just see. I don't know.
Jen
but
Wagner.
my guess is something like this would not be very expensive, because what I'm talking about is quite small. You know, I don't want a model of a baseball stadium. I don't want life-size ball players or anything like that. So I can pursue that.
Yeah, maybe you could find some people that would just do sketches for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be exorbitant, but it also is going to be the artist's time and energy. So it's
Sure.
worth. Mhm.
What about that art group between us and Rehoboth, Heidi?
DAC.
Yeah, would they have any?
They're putting together a directory of artists in different medium and different stages. So
Could
we
they
could
be somebody
definitely,
that, like Denise could just write a note to them, say, hey, pass this around. If anybody's interested in working with us on something like this, why don't you give me a call?
I
Well,
missed,
there-
is this with RAL or,
No,
oh,
Heidi has a group of independent artists.
oh,
right?
okay.
Is that what they
well,
are?
I don't have it. It's a group called the Developing Artists Collaborative, and they have access to a lot of artists. But Jennifer's the only one I know. She's not part of that group, but she works in bronze, which is not, wax and then bronze, which is not it's not something a lot of people do. So.
Good.
But it's not cheap. Because you got foundry and bronze and, I mean, I don't even know exactly what you had in mind, Denise, so.
Well, if you Google Asheville, North Carolina Historic Trail, it's
Why don't you send us all a link to it?
stop number 3. Okay, I can try.
All right.
I'm not good at doing that, but I can give you something.
All right, anything else, Andrew? I haven't heard from-
Tony has his hand up.
Yeah, Tony's got a
Tony.
question.
It's not a question, it's a statement. I have a list of sculptors provided to me by the Delaware Division of the Arts,
Okay.
which I'd be happy to forward to you, Denise, or anybody else on the committee,
Oh, thank you.
with all their contact information.
Okay.
And that includes Kristen Visbell, who's the sculptor in Lewes.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was actually talking about Jen Wagner, who,
Okay, well, she was not on the list, so.
no, she's not on the list, but she just moved here from Houston and she does that work and she's good at it. And
Well, maybe you could forward me her information because I'm looking at a different project.
okay, Jen Wagner. I have another thing. I've been by the mural quite a few times and the pink is like fading. Don't
Which
know.
mural are you talking about now?
The one we did last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I know pink fades, but I was a little bit like, oh, man.
I'll have to go look.
So
Was it coated with something when it was put up?
I don't know, but it's like it's like not one color, and it's kind of, I don't know, just
Let's see if it's bled through or whether it's,
faded maybe. I don't know.
it could, yeah, I mean, it definitely could fade, sits on the sun. I mean,
And
we have
paint-
18 months on it. So if it's really fading, then we'll have to think about our next project for the fall rather than the spring.
Yeah, just maybe check it out.
Carol,
You all aware of the Delaware, what is it called? Discoveries Trail? They have a mural out at the ferry, apparently.
Yeah,
They just did a big piece down at the Botanic Garden. So that's a place where maybe we should be looking for money in the future.
From the Discovery or?
the Division of the Arts.
No, it's not the Division of the Arts.
Delaware
It's
Tourism?
It's tourism.
Mhm. Yeah, the head of that, Leah is the head of DAC, and she's the one who did many of those murals and oversaw those murals. Oversaw the doing of them.
And that guy applied, that guy was one of our muralists.
he was, I remember.
And they paid him $10,000 for that little mural at the state,
Right.
Well, this doesn't look like the mural that I saw from him.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them.
yeah, they're a lot, they're a lot very different. So are you saying that we could get money from this, Carol?
I don't know. I just,
Would you call him and ask?
sure,
Okay,
Do you mean Southern Delaware Tourism?
no,
Oh.
it's Delaware Discoveries Trail.
Oh.
But I think Delaware Tourism was the one who backed that.
Yes.
yeah.
Money
Yes.
came from Delaware Tourism.
And he told me that it came from the state's arts people too, when I was talking to him about it. So I don't know where the funding came from. But speaking of Delaware Arts, Delaware Division of the Arts, we have a very similar, an odd situation in that we are like between their fiscal years and the way that we do business and do our work, we will never get funding under our current, for current funding. You know, we're illegal because you have to submit the contract, but you have to submit the contract like the year before you're going to do it. And so I had to just talk with the director and I said, look, this is, you know, we'd like to help you out because, the state needs some good art, but, you're making it impossible for us to, to help you with your reputation. And and so she's going, and I'm like, so we're going to meet. There are other funding opportunities, but the methodology that we've been using, we struck out, there's not that much money anyway. And because the city applies for money for the choral groups, we can't have any money because the city's money goes to the choral groups.
What?
Is
You
what,
mean the concerts?
It's the summer concert series at Stango Park. We've been applying for grants through that to support that concert series for many years.
But we can't
so-
spend money on public
so
art.
the
No,
Arts
I'm
Council-
we're not saying, the Delaware
Yeah.
Division of the Arts does not allow two grants to the same entity within the same fiscal year.
Oh,
And for the summer concert series, you're always working a year ahead. So I submitted the request for the fiscal year, fiscal years and calendar years for the calendar year 2022. So that's already in for next year. So that eliminates any other DDOA grants for the city of Lewes or any entity of.
I mean, we don't get the money 4 different ways. It's also, we don't have a contract
Well,
until.
Art and Bloom could apply for it, right?
You what?
Art and Bloom could apply for it, but we
They're
can't.
their own organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have a question. Can we go for an operations grant from DDOA?
Yes. There are other grants. I told her, we're gonna wait until this piece of sculpture goes in, and then she's gonna come down and we're gonna meet. I said, I'll meet you in front of the sculpture. I'm not, you know. And so, you know, she basically was, I mean, she basically said, you know, the way you guys work, this will, you know, you'll never get any money doing this kind of thing. So let's talk about other options. And it's, you know, they set up this.
Well, it's very frustrating because they did approve the Fruin piece.
You know, I know
They
they
made an exception for that.
They approved the Bruin. They told us they would approve it for $1,000, which is two grants to the same state in the same year. So Janet, I mean, it's just, they're going to say whatever they want to say, and you're not going to get the money. So let's just not waste our time fighting them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the circumstances were, Cliff, that they made that exception back, you know, a year or two ago. But I've talked to several people over there, and if you have a project support grant, then you can't get I'm applying for a project support grant, and that's under the same umbrella as the Arts Access Grant that the committee applies for. And it comes under, because you're a committee of the city, it comes under the application of the city.
Well, there could
So-
be some ways around that. We'll find out.
Okay.
I just,
Well, at least we're making inquiries about it. You know, if they see we're doing good stuff, they want to support it.
yeah, I mean, and they're not giving us any serious money anyway. So I want to put up a sign saying no money from the Delaware Arts Council went for this.
Well, we got this, which just say our names. So it says that we fundraising for this.
Right. And so that'll make the people that are angry about it, you could say, look, we got no state money. So there you go. All right. Anything else? Any other input?
Well, the other item I was on there was the bike racks, Cliff, that I think you said that you may have discussed this with this committee previously, but I want to just bring it up. So it germinated from the idea that kind of Denise brought up before, which is it's good to work across committees. So in the bike and pedestrian committee, they're trying to think of more creative ways or any ways to increase bike parking around the city. And I think Tim and I have noticed that some of our placement and some of the racks themselves aren't, you know, maybe in the best spots, but furthermore, they're not really the character of Lewes. They're not funky. And therefore, you know, the idea that if you could have bike racks that are funky, one, they'd show a character of your city, but two, they'd be maybe easier to identify as areas to park your bicycle.
Almost sculptural. I've seen bike racks that are kind of sculptural. Isn't that what you're saying, really?
Exactly. So this is a
Okay.
very
A
nascent.
bike rack that's like a spring on its.
Yeah. So this is the idea is
Yeah.
this is the starting point for coming up with maybe some ideas that you think could work and where they could work. And then we'll coordinate between the parks group and the bike and ped committee. But the concept of, hey, what's cool and fitting with Lewes. And then maybe for ones that are there, maybe we think about ways of dressing those bike racks up, you know, the corral and things like that. So, yeah.
If we're going to have bike racks, they may as well look good and be cool.
Yeah.
Right. That begs the question, Andrew, because we are under such incredible scrutiny with our spending any money. If we came up with some bike racks that were pretty cool, that's an if. And if they were kind of expensive, and then it was going to go to the streets or the parks or somebody to buy them, how do we know the city would pay the extra money to buy an interesting bike rack versus a, you know, pedestrian bike rack?
Really convinced.
Well, you know, the bikes and pedestrian committee have budget too. So this is where you could maybe work with, you know, other committees to leverage their.
Well, So what you're
Andrew's the price.
suggesting is if we put up out of our budget, not out of our pockets, but out of our budget, if we put up money, say we wanted to put up $300 towards a more interesting bike rack times 6 bike racks, or 3 this year, or 3 next year, and 3 next year. So we're $900 of our budget can go towards bike racks. Do you think the city would approve that?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know, because I know
Wait,
bike
that's
racks, for
buying
example,
colored
on the
art?
beach, there's different initiatives around the use of bikes. One of them being like the beach parking committee. That was an initiative that came out of there. So
No,
That's
I
the other-
totally get that, Andrew. I'm questioning whether the city would let us even give money to another committee.
I don't know.
Well,
We
We'll
that's,
find out.
I think
I
if we
mean,
come up
I
with
like
some
what you're
ideas,
trying
we
to
can
do here,
figure
and
out
I
how
would
to
love to
fund it.
participate, but I don't want to just have, oh, here's another great idea, and the city said, that's not your job. If you think that would work, I think we could all go out and find all kinds of interesting bike racks to dump on the bicycle committee and say, here, pick 6 of them and we'll help you pay for them.
Well, and we also have a
Still the
really
city
cool
that's
welder.
paying.
We have
What,
a
Heidi?
cool welder who lives in town who
There you go.
we could do commissions and do something really.
Sure, why not? I mean, it could be a whole project.
Yeah, I saw bike racks that were made of old bikes and things like that, so there's that's the whole purpose of bringing it here is you guys are, I'm assuming the creative brain trust of Lewes, and we'll use yours to come up with creative ideas, and then we'll leverage other committees to think about maybe where they can go, and then yet other committees maybe to think about how we can pay for them.
So can I rephrase that and say that you are challenging us to come up with interesting bicycle rack ideas that might be used by other committees in the city of Lewes?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we come back next month and it's like, hey, this is a bust, then we end it there. But
Oh,
I think it could be a
That's
good way to
great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to bring some funky character to Lewes
Yeah.
through our
All
bike
right,
racks.
everybody, that's another assignment for next month. Everybody's got to bring a picture of a funky bike rack.
Okay.
Or draw a picture of a funky bike rack.
I've seen some different.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll
we-
draw. Yes, Heidi.
Good idea.
Draw.
Did you all see the art in Indianapolis for the March Madness? All over town, they have things going on. One was an installation with 64 basketballs, all different colors, which was really kind of cool.
Did you see the thing I sent you about the sculpture about the to honor the
Oh, the injection?
Polish guy that invented inoculations?
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't that cool? Here's this funky, colorful, all these crazy balls, and it really worked. I mean, it was
Yeah.
about a historical guy from 200 years ago. Did you see that one, Andrew?
I think,
Awesome.
nah, I don't think I said, you sent it this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Last
don't
week,
think I did.
last week. But anyway, it was just a mass mailing. You probably have me on ignore. You wouldn't be the first.
I'll check my junk.
Oh my God, we've gone over 10 minutes. Anybody else have anything to say? I apologize for a meeting that lasts over an hour. I
Oh my
don't
God.
ever want to do that. Meeting to adjourned.
Adjourn.
So,
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
All right.
Stay dry.